Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Trading Academy. My name is Josh Lilquist. In the last segment, we were discussing those wealth assets and wealth strategies for those retirement times, those resolutions for those retirement accounts, whether it's 401ks, IRAs, and how to use those I should say how to use the capital efficiently, as Al was talking about, so you're not using everything at one time or risking everything. It's using pieces of that to have maybe even income strategies off of that account during those retirement years, because we get a lot of people that are planning for retirement, want to know what can you do, maybe a little bit you think differently that you haven't done in the past to have better opportunities and have more choices during those retirement times. If you did miss seats for that investing class that we do here locally, simply just text the word investing right now to the number 210-210. That's for 2 seats for that investing class, local at our academy. We do these classes during the week, also on the weekend. Al teaches these, I teach these as well. We have a great time talking about classes specifically on wealth assets or specifically on income assets. That way you can make the right decision based off where you're at in life for your finances. Text investing to the number 210-210 or simply go to invest with OTA.com. Also, we do like our subscribers. Make sure to subscribe and like the podcast Investing and Trading Live on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. We do appreciate those Spreaker app listeners, Spreaker. It really helps our algos and get our podcast out there to help more people make smart and intelligent investing decisions. So, Al, since it's the last segment of the show, and it is the end of the year, we had a great year in 2024. Just a quick recap on the market. So looking at the S&P 500, the S&P 500 was up roughly 25, 26-ish% on the year, which is pretty good for the market. I want to look at the NASDAQ real quick and give a quick update there as well on the year. So 2023, we are looking at
44%.
Is it 44%? Boy, that's a big movement. But you are right, between 44 and 48%, depending on when you look at the show and listen to the archives. But a great move for tech. Mm-hmm. But we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and some of those Magnificent Seven, those high-flying stocks that really drove a lot of the gains in the market over the past several years, there's been a somewhat of an inverse correlation on certain days where those are actually down but the market's actually up, or vice versa, where the market is down and those are up. So is that a forecast for 2024? And this is just, we don't have a crystal ball or anything, but a potential forecast. Do you see the continuing volatility for 2024? Do you see these big stocks that have been moving the markets continue to move that? Or might we see a slight pullback? I mean, there's so many different ways that we can go with this conversation, but I want to hear your insight and input on the market.
Sure, and remember, folks, this is just opinion, and what we want to do is really concentrate on facts. But we had a great year this last year, but the market is now very highly valued. A good part of the move, in fact, a significant part of the move, was the Magnificent Seven. Those stocks did extremely well, but as Josh mentioned, there's a lot of volatility. When you have companies that have had 100, 200, 300% returns in a year, that puts them at a point where any kind of a blip could cause a pretty significant move the opposite direction.
Speaking of, Coinbase was up almost 500% on the year, between 400 and 500%. Meta had a great year as well. So some of those stocks really moved well.
Well, I tell you, the Magnificent Seven, they were not the highest performing stocks of the year. You know what the two highest?
I'm going to guess. I'm going to say Coinbase would be one, and Meta?
Okay, good guess. Well, of the stocks that have $1 billion or more market cap, the number one was Solana Therapeutics. Number two was the used car dealer Carvana.
Oh yeah.
Carvana was up 1,300. No wait, Solana was up 1,900%. Solana was up more, I think, about 1,300%. So
Carvana. Let me just look on the price chart here, and I'll give you the pretty good quote here. Carvana, as of current prices 1,200%. Is that what you have
Yeah,
there?
carbon, yeah, about 1,200, 1,300%, and Solana was up about 1,900%. So, but here's what happened near the end of the year. The Magnificent Seven started to taper off. We had their big move took place basically from around July.
Yeah, it was late.
And then near the end of the year, we had more kind of a sideways move, but we had more inclusion by other stocks. In fact, the Russell 2000 was up about 14% in December, as of December. So that was the best month that's had since the year 2020.
But the Russell isn't at all-time highs, though, like those other ones.
It's not, but at least there's more participation. We've got more market breadth there, which is a good thing.
That's still down about 17% from highs.
Yeah, this next year, I think what's going to be the big mover of the market is going to be what happens with the Fed. The market now has priced in probably 5 to 6 rate cuts, which, and again, this is my opinion,
huh?
I think is way overblown. The Fed themselves has said that it would be closer to maybe 3, but not a guarantee. But so we'll wait to see in January when the Fed meets. The comments they make will have a big impact on the market. But this is what I think is going to happen. I think this is pretty accurate. Volatility is still going to be here. We will probably have some kind of consolidation or pullback, and then another great opportunity. So for people that didn't get in on this market, and a lot of people didn't because the people they relied on, the big names in the financial industry, started out 2023 by saying, we're going to have a recession, we're going to go into recession, the market's going to pull back, and neither one of those happened. We've had some maybe rolling recessions, maybe that's all we're going to have, but people relied on that and maybe stayed on the sidelines. There was a lot of cash sitting on the sidelines. Part of that was also because interest rates went up, and for the first time in many, many years, just having money in cash, having money in bonds, actually was a good move. Yep. Now interest rates are starting to come back down again, so there's more money there that may come out of the bond, out of the fixed income part of the market, and go back into equities. Bottom line is there's going to be a lot of opportunities this next year. It's going to be a fun year if you know what you're doing. And how do you know what to do? Instead of just guessing and hoping, well, you get the right education. There are people out there that know how these markets function and are very successful at it. And fortunately, a lot of them are associated with the Trading Academy, and they're willing to teach you how to address these markets, how to take advantage of them.
Yep.
So get ready for a great year, a great new year. Last year, we started out the year with, and this is kind of, we go through emotional cycles in the market. We started the year with a huge fear factor that kind of was a carryover from 2022. Then we have gone into the euphoric greed part of the emotional component of the markets. That component, that greed, euphoric, that condition can last for a long time.
Yep.
So the market may continue to go up. It may pull back. It will probably do both. But just be prepared. If you're prepared and you know how to be flexible, there's going to be some fantastic opportunities in 2024.
I like that. That's a great insight on the markets, and I want to give you that. I would say that's a very positive outlook, which I think is a very, very possible. But I'm a little superstitious, and I want to say things don't happen by chance. Now, for those of you that were around in 2008 and you knew what happened in the market, the market dropped. Was it 57%?
The S&P was down about 57%.
From 2008 to March of 2009. Right. And that being said, if anybody knows the exact price that the S&P 500 stopped at and went back up from, I'm not going to say it on the show here. I want you to do your own research. That doesn't happen by chance, right? I think you know where I'm going with that, Al. Mm-hmm. Now, in 2021, the end of 2020, the last trading day of the year, the market, that was the high. Mm-hmm. Right. And it took 2 years to get back to that. Here's my little prediction or my insight that I think just doesn't happen by chance, and this is just a complete guess. I don't have a crystal ball. I want to say, and you can look at listen to the archives of the podcast too, from the last few shows. The last trading day of the year, 2023, will once again be the high, just like in 2021, for quite some time. Now, that is not a prediction. That is just a superstitious, by chance thing That is possible.
Absolutely.
But Al said and hit the nail on the head a minute ago. You need to be prepared, because it doesn't matter which way this goes. It doesn't matter what Al says. It doesn't matter what I say. If you are properly educated, you have proper skills in the markets, you can have the opportunity to take advantage of the market no matter which way it goes for income strategies and wealth strategies. That's why we have these investing classes right here at the Academy to show you those income strategies, those wealth strategies, concepts to get in the market safely and confidently. One last set of tickets for these investing classes. Text investing to the number 210 for 2 seats, or go to investwithota.com. Al, last one of the year. Let's hear today's OTA, tip of the week.
Well, it's resolution time. And why do so many people have the same resolution this year that they had last year, which was probably a carryover from the year before? It's because they didn't take action. Basically, everyone wants financial freedom, to live a life that they want on their own terms and enjoy stability. But how many people are genuinely dedicated to putting in the work and committing themselves to get the work done? Sadly, not everyone, not many people. A lot of people get tied up with excuses, wrong priorities, and just a lack of action. You have to take the initiative to use what it takes to be successful. It takes knowledge, it takes skill, and taking action to use that knowledge and that skill. Remember, you are responsible for the life you want. You're responsible for taking action.
Everybody, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. It's been a great 2023. Let's look forward to a great 2024. As always, same time, same place next year. Until then, retire young, my friends.
Happy New Year.